test roll.
Okay. Well,
What would you ready for?
the pizza's been ordered. Adventures out there. Let's play some D&D, y'all. Last we left off, you guys just kind of met each other and discovered your first quest. Even though this world is not very big on adventurers anymore, since we've gone into a quote-unquote modern age, you still find yourself in the midst of a quest. The principal of Crayola Defense Force, the Defense Academy, unofficially hired you to destroy a source of blackmail that he is under. The linguistics professor, who is currently basically running the entire school because she is in charge of lots of rules and law enforcement punishments. The president is pushed into a corner because he signed an agreement forever ago when she was actually nice, that among that gigantic contract that he had to sign was a clause that said he could not sabotage her in any way, and he couldn't hire someone to sabotage her, hire a professional. The key word being professional in that contract, so he had to resort to low-classed people who weren't even actually adventurers. Since you have never got hired to do a job or been paid to be an adventurer of any sort, you snuck through that loophole. So he has regrettably hired you all to go and find a book that he had made forever ago, and destroy it with a disintegration spell he left you guys. You all went to the Angel of Wastes, where you met some very nice people. Chief, one of them being a chef who currently works for Miss Plenumbra. Finagling your way into conversation with him and being generally nice about it all, one of you were able to actually get hired by him to actually help him out with this event that's going on. So, and remind me again, it was Warden that's hired, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just making sure. Yeah, Warden will be his ward for the event that's happening tomorrow in-game. This is the Saturday just before the event, where you all have come back to the Angel of Waste just to plan or get supplies, or do whatever you wish in preparation. Let's see, it is now crunch time, and you've all discussed plans during the week, but with it being so intense on homework and just so many tests, this is a very intense academy after all. You have not had too much time to get down to brass tacks, so come together, decide things like, will you look at the book, and what will make you keep it or destroy it, certain things like that. But the game is yours. Welcome to When Gods Fall.
So, I'd like to point out that sometime during the week, Raybar would have handed Hope the scroll, because he's kind of helpless when it comes to that type of magics.
The disintegration spell, yeah.
Similarly, Warden would have gone and submitted her paperwork at some point during the week to make sure that she was authorized to do it, and followed Inua's directions whether or not to pass it by pool number first.
Yeah, Inua, the Panther Tabaxi instructor, has totally given you the go-ahead. He has some power left as a fellow instructor and has given you the ability to get hired by the chef and go to the event. Fully legal.
Okay, I was just wondering, like, a courtesy to pass it by her first. Just so that she's not angry at me while I'm there. Do everything I can to make sure I'm on her good side, even though she's probably still going to be watching me like a hawk.
It's less of angry at you and more. Inua, while you're talking to him, says that if anything were to happen, it would be the chef who is going to be under the blowtorch. If you steal or something, she's going to press charges probably, but mostly going to fire the chef if you have been proven to do something wrong. It's not so much I'm going to watch you and make sure you don't do anything wrong, more of how to explain it. More of she has more important things to do, and the help of the help is too low on her list of things to worry about.
Noted.
Yep. Unless you start acting shifty and going places you aren't supposed to.
That's a different problem entirely, so. But yeah, noted.
And just as a reminder, the kitchen where we're normally at is at the bow, the front of the ship, where second level at the front of the ship, yeah.
Alright. So, we've figured out who's going to be our distractions, have we not?
More or less, yes.
So, for me, I guess am I infiltrating, or do you want me to be on standby just in case something bad happens? Because I can do both. One less as good as the other, but I'm willing to do both.
This was in character, right? Or...
Yes. If I have a British accent, it's in character. Sorry, I should have pointed that out.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Val would just thumb over and just nod in agreement. Like, he is not sure what he can do because he's not exactly, stealthy with his size.
Right.
But he will try to climb around the edge of the ship and cling on using his claws.
Well, you could join me on the boat.
That works too. He just would stand out. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, I think we both could be a decent secondary backup, but that's kind of setting. No offense, Warden and Hope, but that's putting all our eggs in two baskets.
If that's what you want to do, then go ahead. You've probably given it more thought than I have.
I am again not very sneaky of myself, so probably just gonna be spending time mostly on the boat, watching for any signs of bad.
I don't even know how to do that.
Enter.
Yep, pressing enter pulls up chat.
So yeah, I can stay on the boat. That'll work.
I think that, as far as I go, I'm only there as backup just in case something goes wrong.
We're like the backup to the backup just in case something goes drastically wrong, right?
That is what I gathered, yes.
All right. I mean, if anybody else is in objection or anyone else has any ideas to add to it.
will just shake his head. He's not actually committed anything like this. One time he ever did try breaking and entering anything on a scale even half like this before. He got arrested.
Well,
So he's going, sure.
well, I think that us bigger fighting types and those in heavier armor, just in case we do need to go in, shouldn't doff our armor. If we do that, we'll be at a serious disadvantage.
Val just looks down at his uniform that he's still wearing.
I said those bigger and in armor.
He's
I'm
bigger,
not-
he just doesn't have the armor. Like, he doesn't actually have anything since fresh off the boat.
Right. I have, just as a point, I do keep my chainmail on under my armor, or under my school uniform, because that's something that he's not willing to part with.
That's fair, just, I can't imagine a prison ever letting a prisoner have chainmail.
Right.
Raybar, are you confident that you can't park with your mail? It might be useful to be unencumbered if a swim is necessary.
Even so, I'm not stealthy as is, even without the armor. I mean, I can definitely try, and I'm willing to try if that's what we want to do, but just pointing it out there, I'm a little clumsy.
Anything's better than the rattling that you have on, but that's entirely up to you. If
I guess-
you're an
I guess-
emergency backup, then
I guess let me see how it goes. I'm gonna doff my armor, which takes 10 minutes. And try to sneak around the party, I guess. Just giving it a go.
Wolfgar will also doff his armor.
Okay, and what armor are you guys using?
I have chainmail, heavy armor.
I have a scale, which is medium, but also disadvantage and stuff.
Yes, so both of you are having disadvantage. It's like if you're out in the sun, out where everyone can see you, it's obvious that you are wearing armor. Plain as day.
I mean,
And then, of course, the chinking of metal and plates colliding against each other. That's why it's disadvantage if you're stealthing. Otherwise,
yeah, we know.
Yep.
That's why we're doffing the armor to try stealthing around a little bit.
Or at least having the option. And
Right.
it might be useful if we need to swim.
Warden, I understand that you think that that's funny. This is actually a little. I've been wearing armor since I was young, and this is a very odd. But I'm gonna try sneaking around the tavern a little bit, to see how I can do. I understand it's like bright light, but
Warden will close her eyes.
I'll say, better
Why
not
is
sound
it-
your step, lad.
it's being strange.
You can have a bonus D4.
D4, yay! Boink. So that's a total of 17.
Yeah, actually, the bonus D4 makes you indetectable to me. Before I could detect you.
Your base actually beat my passive.
Okay, so I'm actually sneaky when I don't have my armor on.
yeah.
If you roll good.
Yeah, if I roll
Yeah.
good.
And of
Oh,
course,
wait,
there's a bunch of people to sneak past if you want to get onto the ship without anybody noticing.
Right,
Yeah.
and I have an AC of 12, which hurts.
But if you pretend to be like a dockhand on the nearby ship,
I am a dockhand. Technically, I'm a
Yeah,
dockhand.
but
I
if
have
anybody-
the paperwork for it.
nah,
Actually, I would be
you're
there
good.
anyways, wouldn't I? I'd be, because I said I'd be working on the weekends
No, you're
at
good.
as a dockhand. So yeah, I have that, and I wouldn't take off my armor working as a dockhand. I don't care. I've done a lot of hard work with armor.
Sure.
The question is if you want to infiltrate a hoity-toity party. Which you're wearing common clothes, but I mean, I'm assuming the other ship hands are as well. You're
Yeah.
just trying to keep out of
Yeah,
sight.
ship hands don't wear armor for the most part.
Yeah.
You're still gonna
Is this
stick
party
out like a
during the
sword,
day or
so.
night?
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
About
Okay. Yeah.
4 o'clock. 3 or 4.
Yeah. So I'd leave my armor and shield in the dorm, and I won't take it.
Okay.
I'll follow Raybar to his dorm room.
Yeah.
Raybar, look, lad, I understand the issue you're going through, but it is a matter of options.
You know
If a
why?
fight would break out, you would miss those, yes, but this gives you more choices to avoid the fight.
Right.
And
I know.
perhaps lacking those options, you will look for those choices instead.
Well, you know better than anyone how I feel about my shield, my sword, and my armor.
Aye, lad. I don't feel good going into perhaps battle without my mail either, but
But we have to make sacrifices to do what we need to do, correct?
perhaps the
Might I
sneaking
point
job
out that battle is probably not a good idea, considering none of us are armed.
I
That's a good
agree.
guy. I mean, I have a club, but that's about it.
I have my fists, and they're not particularly strong at knocking people out. That's why I use a bow.
Warden, I understand. Uh, yeah, I will be going for the foreseeable until this whole thing is done without armor on.
Warden, you would still have the most powerful weapon. You're cooking.
Is that an insult, sir?
I believe it was, and I second that insult.
Only if you choose to see it that way, lass.
We'll see who gets to eat whenever everyone else is starving.
Don't
Val
that
do
is-
just
me.
watches,
that is
looks
definitely
back
noted.
and forth, and he's idly wondering just how bad it is compared to what they already have to deal with.
You saw it last session.
Yeah, and he's still wondering that why are they complaining? It's still safer. It didn't blind anyone. So to him, it's automatically an improvement.
Well, do we away? Get prepared. I do have work to do today. Literal work.
We still face the question of what to do with the book once we find it.
Aye.
Depends on its
you-
content. Should we have the chance to away without a tail, then we should open it and find out. But if we have a tail, then I suppose it's a mystery left unsolved, and probably for the better.
Yeah, I'm along that same lines. Minus the, I think that it's just better if we don't know anything at all. The less
I
we
would
know,
agree with
the better.
Raybar. Yes.
I'm just worried that we're letting a worse power take effect if we do.
Well,
I don't care about the contents, especially if, as Hope says, they're old contents, but if it's worse, then we need to know.
I'll put it like this, and I bet it is simple enough for you, Warden. I don't care. If you read it, you read it. I just know I will not be reading it. I think I would be better off not knowing.
Then Hope and I will look and spare you all the trouble.
And
Val just thumbs over and nods, going, "Not magic. Too much effort." That's probably the most you ever heard him say in one go.
oh, Raybar was going to say something about that because he's been kind of keeping track a little bit. Did you? Was that a full sentence?
No.
Okay. Well, So I guess Hope and Warden can read it. I'll be at the docks, ready to come to aid with what I have.
I will have a boat rented, and if there is need, you can always jump into it. Or I will fetch you from the drink, if necessary as well.
It reminds us of my first time on a boat. Remember that time I fell and yeah.
I am glad you're over your seasickness, lad. Wouldn't,
Me as well. But I believe we have a plan.
Okay, so just to rein this all in, Warden, the ranger cook, you are going to be helping the chef with his, madness, which is a giant event for a lot of people. It really is a bit of madness. Then Raybar. Raybar, you will be at the docks, like right beside it, helping them out, keeping an eye on stuff, being nearby.
Yep. But I have to look like I have to actually do the work that I've contracted myself into doing now.
Oh yeah.
So I'll be doing that while keeping an eye on it. But if I just hear commotion, then I'll break from my work.
I think we agreed on over the week is that there were going to be a set of calls. So like there's one for Warden, I need help. There's one for shit's fucked, everyone come help. And then I think there was one for I got it, let's dip.
Yep. And then Ulfgar, you are hiring. Do you want a rowboat or like a small sailboat?
I'm just a rowboat.
Okay. Mark off, because it's only for rental, 1 gold for a full
All right.
day.
Don't forget your sailor background.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
I do have proficiency in rowing it.
No, I'm talking about the
foul.
feature.
You're able to get one.
Yeah, you should be able to get one without any cost.
On a sailing ship, if it's basically for sailing somewhere, then I can get it without cost.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Not, yeah, personal renting.
Yeah.
It's more like, I assume that it's basically when you're sailing, I'll be like, I can also sail and be a sailor. So that's what you're giving for passage.
Okay.
Yeah. However, foul or you are probably going to be on the rowboat with Ulfgar. Where are you going to be? Where are you going to be?
Val is going to be hanging around Hope. He's going to be ready to be the muscle to protect Hope if need be. Probably trying to hide from the shadows instead of just tailing him.
Okay.
Going to the side of the ship, and then when Hope moves into the building, he is going to get ready to run in and barrel in as need be.
Then, since Hope is not here, would you like to take control?
I'm not sure I can play him properly, but I'll give it a try if that's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna send you. There we go. I'm gonna send you the goals that Hope's has. So come. There we go. So that's what Hope was trying to do. And as long as you stay true to that, you don't need to do any crazy acting or anything.
Right.
Cool.
How do I access his roles in?
Let me get you that.
Because I mean, I could try to roll as foul warning, but his stat block is not good for this. Like the only thing he's got going from is stealth.
Just don't go stealing all his gold.
60.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so you should now have access to the sheet.
Yep, I can see it.
Okay, the pink tiefling with disguise abilities. Okay, got a plan? Everyone knows their place?
Roughly.
Go ahead and do your supply runs or anything. Though, Warden, you do have to come back to the inn when night falls to get that kind of test from the chef.
It's fine, because I have no supplies to get because I have no gold.
Nah, chef is just going to be coming to the tavern. You're going to take over the kitchen for a bit to cook for some people, and if it is edible, he'll be more trusting in you.
Can I go ahead and roll?
That's later on, but for now, you are
Okay.
free to take over the kingdom, everything.
Roll the world?
If you roll well enough, have the time.
So Raybar's gonna go back, drop off his armor and in his dorm and his shield, and then head to the docks to start working.
And something about the Criella, let me... If you all go to Crayola Defense Academy, just for a second.
Let's see.
Yep. So this floor right here, it is empty so that in your player's copy you can build your own rooms from the ground
I
up.
can't see it.
Which floor is that?
Above the cafeteria.
Okay.
Send shot to players.
How do
Okay, I see. I see the floor.
The only empty
can't,
one in this entire map. So that you guys can, over the week or whenever you feel comfortable messing around with Tale of Spire, you can make your rooms. And making sure that the person you're sharing your room up with is okay with whatever craziness you put in there.
I can't see the room.
So yeah, it's above the cafeteria, and
Oh,
you have
I
to do
actually
the
can't-
slider. And
I can't go back to layers and see anything.
Yep, use the
Um,
green one if I recall.
yes, over on
Oh.
the side.
And zoom in.
Yep, if you zoom out far enough, you won't be able to uncover it.
Thank you.
But yeah, just for your delight and whatever you wish to do otherwise. Yep, you put your armor back. Lock the door.
Like I said, lock the door and head to the docks. That's all I'm doing.
Warden probably would have tagged along back to the dorm, but she's gonna head back to the Angel Voice afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, you know, it's kind of awkward just kind of sitting there alone at a bar.
Of course. Unless anybody wishes to do something specific, we're going to go to the cooking battle. Okay. So a couple
I
hours...
DM'd what Fallon do.
Do what?
I DM'd what Fallon do. He would try to get his starter gear, basically.
Starting gear as in...
As in something other than a prison jumpsuit.
Yeah, so...
Like, he can't show up wearing that. That would just... That would
Yeah.
cause everything to be worse.
I kind of assume that you guys have enough clothes for actually living in school. So yeah, you just have all what you need. Yep.
And and a brown cloak that's somewhat dull and almost wooden tone. That's about all that he would be getting.
Juan would have a used clothes store. You can pick something up from there.
Yep, he would.
Funny enough, there's an entire rack of ready, worn cloaks that is actually much pricier than just the oldish worn cloaks, because adventurers tend to like the style of a billowing ragged cloak.
Cloak of billowing?
Sure.
Val just wants one that's big enough to cover him so that when he's clinging to the wall, it isn't super apparent.
Fair enough. Just take it, yeah.
He doesn't care if it's ragged or, fancy or normal.
The day is moving on, and when it comes to just about dinner time, the Angel of Waste, it's suddenly besieged by many patrons, which is unlike anything you've seen before. The only other person you've seen here is the chef, maybe one other person, since all the weekends you've spent here. This is not a very popular inn by any means, but in a matter of an hour, almost 24 young patrons come in. They look to be anywhere from 14 to 18 years of age, all wearing like a old uniform, kind of like a school uniform that's definitely seen many years. Many elbows are showing through patches, and these are not wealthy patrons by any means. However, upon entry, Bella immediately brightens up. Hey, kids! I'm so glad you made it. Hi, Miss Bella. And upon a closer inspection, the patch that is sewn not very artistically onto the quote-unquote uniforms describes a certain orphanage. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. Bella comes over to Warden. I don't mean it to be a bother. I know you're supposed to be cooking. I can help out if you need me to. But these are kids from the home me and Pamela used to live in.
Oh, hello.
Don't worry, they're not picky, except watch out for Mordecai. Just watch out for him. She points over, and you see this red-headed young, like 16-year-old half-elf. The hair on his head is, of course, blazing red, but slicked back, and you notice he has no eyebrows that have been singed off, probably due to some fire. Yeah, she's right, you know. They call me the Red Destroyer. Come outside and I'll show you.
Okay, I see no reason not to.
Just... Mordecai, this time go farther away from the inn if you're going to do that. Please? Yeah, okay, Miss Bella. And they go out to the porch area. And out in the distance, he looks and he points at a tree. You see that tree?
Yeah, I do. The one with the twisted branches?
You see a little ember fly from his finger. A fireball completely erodes the tree into ash in a matter of seconds. And after casting it, he almost falls to the ground. Now you don't.
I have a question for you.
Let me sit
would
down.
you
And he sits down in the chair.
would you happen to know how to dispel magics?
No. Why would I need to dispel anything? That's the only spell worth knowing.
Warden tries to say something, but just turns around and heads back
Yeah,
inside.
Miss Bella tries to teach me like light and stuff like that. Pfft, there's light with fireball.
Would Val recognize the emblem, or
You would not. No, the specific orphanage comes more east than you would be from.
alright, it is filled as worth asking.
Yeah, no worries.
Val himself would actually hang around near the kids, but not really say anything to them unless spoken to.
Little girl shyly walks up to you and hands you a little tulip.
Val would just awkwardly crouch, like he's just trying to get down on her level, and it requires pretty much hunching up, almost sitting on the ground to accept it from her. Carefully with his 2 claws.
And she
Thanks.
scampers away. And you realize that it isn't really a little girl, it's a halfling. Again, the same age bracket that the rest of them are at.
He would slowly try to awkwardly get up again, which would require pushing himself off the ground.
Warden walking in would help him up.
He would just turn to Warden and nod in thanks as he manages to get to his blind again.
The door bursts open at this point, and the familiar chef, Alfonso de Shanti de Despero, arrives. Well, it looks like you arrived here before me.
Yeah, apparently we have an audience for our little trial.
Yes, I was going to say I forgot, but no one's more picky than children, not even the nobles. So, the kitchen is at your disposal with Bella's permission, of course. Let me see what you can do.
Okay. Sure. I'm allowed to use your kitchen, yes? Just double checking?
Yeah, sure thing. We have
I'll
all
leave
the
it-
ingredients you need.
I'll leave it cleaner than I found it. And then she'll kind of dust herself off and then head into the kitchen and start cooking.
Okay.
You said it was a survival check?
It is, yep, survival for cooking.
Don't suck, don't suck, don't suck.
Okay, so with the supplies you have at hand, and with the skill you've learned through basic living, come up with a pretty good dish. What dish would you like to serve them?
It was crepes. That's what we agreed on before, yeah?
Yep.
That's what he told me to get. So yeah, I'd probably do crepes still. Just showing how much I had improved over the week.
Okay. Every now and again, he's been at the door watching you cook, but sometimes he leans over your shoulder, just kind of talking to himself in a voice low enough you can't really understand it or hear it, since his accent, of course, is so hard to understand at times. But eventually, all of the children are served. Fowl, you find yourself eating next to the small golden-haired halfling girl who gave you the flower earlier, but she's not talking much.
He would just nod to her, point to the tulip, which he tucked up against the lapel of his shirt. Thanks. And just resume eating.
And she's just watching you with wide eyes at times.
He doesn't pay that any special mind because he's used to people reacting like that. But he does try to give her space if she wants it.
Sure thing.
Like if she seems afraid of him, he'll just give her a little bit of space.
After the food is served and the patrons are, the children are full, chef comes up to you while you're cleaning. Well, I would not trust you to be the lead in cooking for such a dramatic event as we have planned, but I believe I can trust you to be an assistant.
Well, I hope to learn a lot from you.
2 o'clock tomorrow sharp. And remember, I will have you bring stuff in, carry things in my place, and if you forget a single ingredient, so much as a crumb, I will leave you behind with it. We cannot go back.
Noted. Okay.
You do not get seasick, do you not?
I don't believe I do.
Good. I've had someone throw up in my kitchen before, and it is not a mess I wish to clean up.
I can imagine. And she'll kind of wince.
Well, with that done, he swipes up a little leftover couple of crepes. I will take my leave. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. I look forward to working with you. And then she'll dip back in the kitchen and make true to her promise, make sure that it's as clean or cleaner than she found it.
Sure. And with a twirl of his mustache, he heads out. The children are attacking adamantly with each other. Who else is... Everyone's there, right?
No, I'm at the dock.
Ah, right, so you're working like a real man.
Wolfgar would still be there.
Okay. While the dinner is going on, Bella is going to sit beside you, Wolfgar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once this whole thing, it's once a month the children from my old orphanage, our old orphanage, gesturing to her twin sister, we kind of host a event for them to come and eat. It's nice to see the kids again.
Said Bella, and puts his arm on her shoulder, and such generosity warms the heart. I could feel the love and kindness as soon as I entered this place. Now I understand why. You've earned your name. Angels rest indeed. But you say you grew up in an orphanage? Was it not your father who you inherited this from?
Yes, but before we were legally allowed to own it, we spent some time in the Desert's Edge orphanage for young adults.
What of your father then?
He passed away. Just heart gave out on him one day.
Sorry to hear that, lass.
It's been a while. We've gotten over it, but I don't know. Some of these kids have fresh wounds, and we do our best.
Aye. A warm moment, for sure. Is there any way I can help you?
No, not right now. We're doing good. We're doing fine. And I don't know. You may wonder why I trust you with, talking and automatically becoming friends with you. But I guess something you should know about this inn is, it's alive, sort of, right? Well,
How do you mean?
I mean, not like intelligent, but it has magical enchantments placed upon it, and safeguards. Only those with good intentions and good people can find it in the woods easily. So that's why I knew right when you guys entered I could trust you. So,
For a second, I heard you say lie, not alive. That makes more sense.
no, alive. But by saying that, I hope I don't press you into it, but could you, do me the biggest favor and escort the kids back to their wagon?
Of course. And I won't need to kneel down like poor fowl. They're all my height anyway. But Ulfgar will start herding kids.
Okay. At the end of the night, it's a bit of a walk back to their wagon, and you also learn that the Desert's Edge orphanage is way out of town.
Mm.
Going to the big map, let me get a distance in miles. Along the coast, it is about 50 miles, a little under.
This is more player knowledge than character knowledge. I wouldn't necessarily know where things are. I guess it's Ulfgar.
Well, yeah, as also Desert's Edge Orphanage implies that it's by the desert, and the desert is, 50 miles or so away.
Hmm. On a wagon, how long would that take, such a journey?
It takes them a full day with that wagon. Like,
Nice.
I know.
like
Go ahead.
24 hours, full day.
I was gonna say I know Raybar's not here, but how many kids did you say again?
It's 16 or 17 kids, and they do have an escort, though. The
Mhm.
wagon itself is kind of part of a wagon train that makes their journey back and forth.
Okay.
So I hear you guys are gonna do something tomorrow?
We have a adventure of our own planned tomorrow.
Well, I wish you luck, and if you need a place to stay if you get in any trouble, you can borrow a room for a bit. We're kind of outside the guards patrol. As long as you don't do anything bad, you probably wouldn't be able to find us if you did. But, like I said, I trust you.
Thank you. And your rooms are always at our price point. So I'm certain
Well, free is free.
free is free.
Have a good night.
You too.
And she heads off. With that all done, you guys head off to your rooms.
Mm-hmm.
After a long day of hauling crates, getting some not quite fish smell on you, as the fish is pretty fresh, but some merchants are not very honest, and you do get some fish smell on you, so a quick little jaunt in a nearby waterfall stream clears you of the stink, and you all go to bed to wake up on the day of the heist. And as the sun rises on the next day, is there any specific equipment or final things you wish to get, either at the marketplace or whatever, before the event?
I want to double back and re-grab that club that I left in my room, and just give it to Ulfgar to keep on the boat. It's like what was it? It was like a pin, like a pin layer or something.
A belaying pin. It's like a
belaying
sailing
pin.
instrument that can be used as a club.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that belaying pin. I'm gonna go back and grab it and give it back to Ulfgar to keep on the boat, just in case.
All right.
So at least one of us has a weapon.
The spellcaster is fine.
Well, my spell casting is through my shield as well, so I'll probably just have to have it on the boat.
Oh, and I have to prepare different spells. Give me a second.
Yeah, prepare spells.
Cure wounds, definitely. Um. Oh, it is a melee weapon. Are fists considered weapon attacks?
No, they're
Armed.
unarmored.
Okay. Sad face. I was gonna say, can I cast
Unless,
smite on my
unless
hands?
you're a monk, I think.
Well, there's certain things that say it's, adds
Yeah.
to the unarmored attacks, but it's still unarmored.
Okay.
Unarmed.
You might want to just keep the belaying pin in that case.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll probably actually use it for work, won't I? The belaying pin.
Uh,
Maybe.
let's see what it. I want to see what it.
I think it's like a tackle, so yeah.
No, yeah. No, you're good. I was thinking of something different.
What?
Singing more for climbing purposes, but belaying pin.
Yeah, I was thinking more like a block and tackle.
Yeah. No, you can fit that into your belt loop and be perfectly fine on a dock. Let me actually share this with y'all.
Yeah, I see what it looks like now.
Okay.
Share with you the Google search of belaying pin.
Okay. So yeah, I tuck it in. So then, in that case, we're getting smites.
Oh lord.
Searing and wrathful, because thunderous sounds like it's a bad idea.
Enchanted
I
belaying
mean,
pin.
it has a lot of sound.
So, and then I'm bringing a little bit of extra healing this time. All right, I'm good on spells. Sorry, wisdom caster or charisma caster.
Okay.
Not wisdom caster.
Anybody else going to market to get some fresh bread?
I don't have any gold beef, and if I tried.
Fair
Does
enough.
Warden want to go?
No.
No. Okay.
I can't.
I'd just be heading.
I can't
to my
think of
dog
anything
soon.
that I can't think of anything I'd need that wouldn't be on the ship already.
I suppose it actually makes sense for me to get a second belaying pin, so I have the option as well.
They're
We will never
pretty
use
common
swords again.
in a port town.
We will only. Just as an option.
For silver, you can get a belaying pin. Yeah.
Awesome. It's an
Um,
implement of peace, I swear.
I'm gonna fix your ship.
How? This is gonna sound really dumb, but how odd would it be for me to be walking around with like a hunk of wood shield, like a druid shield, on my back?
Odd.
A barrel lid.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
a barrel lid.
You would have to probably roll for it. It would be something you would roll for to see if it was out of the ordinary, but I would say
Well,
you
it
have a
would
chance
just be
of
like
passing it off.
while I'm working.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay. Then
It would,
no, I won't.
if
do the barrel.
if you wanted to make it more convincing, it might only be a +1 shield. More subtle.
Plus
Yeah.
1 to your AC instead of +2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work. I mean, I also know that I have that thought in my head for when time comes and I need a shield.
Okay. Yeah.
But
So
sorry.
do you want to get one?
I will make note of all of the barrels that are easily accessible lids while I'm working.
Okay.
That I
Because
could
you
just
still
grab one
you would.
and
because they don't have handles on the lids where you would hold it like a shield.
Okay.
Yeah, you would need to make one
Yeah,
with
you
like a
would-
leather strap.
Which is
Oh.
easy, 20-minute job for one of Juan's minions, cousins.
Minion cousin.
Yeah.
Cousin minion.
At that point, I just take my steel shield. So no.
Okay. You know, stowing the steel shield in the rowboat.
Yeah, I'll probably do that. And just for kicks and giggles, I'll toss my armor. Like I'll grab all my stuff and toss it in the boat, just in case.
It's
I know it
gonna
takes 5
take
minutes.
10 minutes to put on
It
the
takes-
armor.
It takes 5 minutes to put it on, 10 minutes to take it off. It's stupid. I believe, or is it the other way around?
I think it's the other way around.
There are rules for like if someone is helping you put it on, but yeah, it's more or less not something you're gonna put on in an emergency.
Yeah, you're gonna leave that behind. Or you're not gonna
Mm.
join the battle, either one.
Mm.
Because most combats in
Leave
D&D don't last more than a minute.
Fair. All right, just my belaying pin then.
Bonk.
Yeah, the bonk.
So let me get your rowboat onto the map, and everyone go to the dock.
It's the heist for dummies is the one,
Yep.
right?
Heist for Dummies.
Yeah.
I wish we could ping. Oh, measurement tool, that might. So this is your rowboat over here. If you can see my measurement orb.
Yep.
Give me a sec.
So, it is almost noon. A couple hours till the event begins, and you all go to the docks. It is a beautiful day. There's barely a cloud in the sky, and even though the sun is shining bright, it's pretty cool out. Summer is not quite here. It's still pretty early on in spring, and the docks are busy. They have not quite as busy as the morning and evenings, where the fishing ships come in, or the merchant ships go out. Kind of lunchtime-ish, and the docks are free for your exploration.
Okay. Kind of as we arrive, I'm going to check and see where the wind is coming from.
Okay, so let's see.
I can roll a nature check for you.
It's pretty easy to tell the wind, but it's coming directly out from sea towards the dock.
So coming from the west.
Yes. Sorry,
This is
east.
a compass. East. Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah, sorry, west. I guess I positioned the ships wrong. Yeah, in the compass way, it would be west.
Okay.
So that's where the kitchen is, yeah? Near the bow?
Yep, the kitchen's up here.
Okay, just making sure.
And chef is already there.
Okay, I will kind of
And a
turn to...
couple guards are there as well.
I'll turn to Hope before we kind of get into eye shot and mention you're going to want to use the stink bomb at the bow of the ship.
Hope would nod, F the bomb, eyeing it warily. Okay.
Right. I'm gonna go get to work. the rest of you, I hope this goes without a hitch.
Hey, you there! And you see a half-orc, slender man come towards you. You see he has a sword and shield and a captain's insignia on his shoulders.
As he comes, I'll just say, "Good luck, lass and lad," and he'll Ukar will start to step away, but as he does, for at least the next 10 minutes, while Hope and Warden are near each other, they have a D4 bonus to all any ability skill check to make.
Heading. I'm getting this boat. This boat here.
Sorry, you are cutting out on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a second.
IT 9000.
All right, is it good now?
Not entirely.
But
Little
we can
better,
understand you.
Okay, so I'm guessing that I try to be working at like this boat over here.
Yep.
Okay.
You finagle your
So-
way to being part of there. Yep.
Yeah, so I'll be doing that.
Yeah, you are unloading small boxes, but when you lift them up, you realize they're incredibly heavy. And in fact, one of the younger deckhands drops his, and it smashes part of the deck. And you realize that after looking at the shiny interior, these are solid ores, solid steel and metal ingots.
This is going to sound silly, but is there anybody that I recognize from yesterday that I kind of chatted with or whatever? Because, I'm kind of charismatic.
Probably not. This would be a different ship.
Okay.
Yeah, no one's snugged their way onto this group, but there's people that you can talk to.
Yeah,
Except
I'll
for
try
the
to make
young
a...
kid who's getting reamed out.
Yeah, he's past saving. I forget. I'm trying to remember how much I can carry just for your note, DM.
Should be on your character sheet.
Yeah, I'm looking for it, but I can't find it. I found it. So just for your note, I can carry 225 pounds.
Yep.
So do with that as you will. But
It'll come into play in Kabak, but otherwise.
there. Well,
Is there any
all I'm doing.
information you wish to glean from the other deckhands?
Yeah, actually, I do. I have just kind of a little bit of questions.
Yeah.
Just like one kind of. I wouldn't say it like as direct as I'm about to ask you, but I'd be asking if there is a separate crew that works on the next boat over, or if it's all just all the dock hands here.
After talking with a older man who, bald hair, shirtless, and he wears a couple tattoos on his shoulder that look like a couple pauldrons, armored pauldrons. Hey, yeah. Now we're the ship hands for this dock, lad.
Aye.
You must be
Second
new.
day, I'm excited.
Yes.
Aye, second day, I'm excited. I love the work here. Nothing like a good hard work before going to bed really knocks you out.
Well, with that attitude, you're not going to be here for long. This is the bottom of the barrel stuff that you're dealing with here, man. But
Better than doing nothing.
you can take all the heavy boxes if you wish. And he grabs a smaller box that's looking in through the cracks. It's just tools and not the heavy ingots that you are currently carrying.
Fair.
Name's Zavlin, if you are so inclined.
Can you spell that, please?
Vlen.
Blen. All right, thank you.
Vlen.
Bien. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been here the longest, but looking forward to working with someone who's willing to do the hard work that I don't.
Well, I'm just the right person then. As I look for one that looks to be about 200 pounds ish, and just kind of, and away I go. Kind of looks like I'm struggling, but I can handle it.
Something
Lift
that
with your
looks
knees.
200 pounds with ingots in it, it's more like 3 or 400, and you have to get help.
But I lifted by I try to lift it by myself.
Just remember, lift with your back in a twisting, jerking motion.
I'm gonna roll a
Inside check.
insight. Yeah,
Go ahead.
because he's not smart enough really to know. Oh, and it did
Yeah,
roll
no.
twice.
With the
But
grin and laughing and the joke that probably has been said a bajillion times, you get the feeling that it is a joke, in fact.
okay. There, yeah, I'm just working away.
And you are part of the crew going back and forth. And you notice that on the other ship, there are several guards, and in fact, the half-orc captain is now confronting Warden.
I'm here to work. I'm working with the chef today to help with the crowds.
Rubs his chin. The white teeth that are overgrowing his jaw kind of grind together. Chef did mention something. Just stay on your side of the ship and we'll be fine. And he goes
Understood.
back to his post atop.
Warden will go into the kitchen and get her first assignment, which I believe he mentioned was carrying crates.
So I can't see any of the figures beyond the NPCs.
Yes,
is that
place
on
your
my end only,
tokens down. You should be able to.
Like, I'm not listed as a player, so I don't think I can.
Let me get your.
Yeah.
And foul. Okay. I guess I have to put you guys in there.
It might be worth adding. It might be worth adding these figures to the library.
So sorry, I can't move Hope here.
Can't move what?
Hope, the character.
Oh, that's
You
right.
can't move.
Let me give you permission. Okay, you should be able
Thank
to.
you. So he would have been going with Warden, right?
He would have used Mask of Many Faces to disguise himself, and then,
Okay,
yeah.
so he would have gone as one of the deckhands then.
Okay. Make a deception check.
So you would have a bonus d4 to that. If it's within the 10 minutes after I parted with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Since he would try to move immediately because there's a time limit, from what I understand.
And also make a wisdom check as well.
Any order?
Wisdom first, let's say. Okay, yeah. So you would have known to scout out the deckhands, make sure that one of the deckhands wouldn't actually be there, due to, with your natural 20, oh, he got caught in a traffic accident. Whoops. I don't know, just something to earlier on to make him not come out that, of course, wouldn't lead back to you guys with your natural 20. And you disguise perfectly. You don't have to roll deception because you rolled so well on that. Yep, and you are the deckhand.
Yep. Then,
Just know that if anybody starts questioning you in earnest, you probably won't be able to pretend to be him that
Yep.
well.
He would just try to be make busy work and work his way slowly to the bow of the ship.
Okay, and it's easy enough because they already need to haul a bunch of crates of food and everything in, so you'll be helping with that, along with all the wine casks.
So right here, then, right?
Yep. And Fowl is going to be where exactly?
Cleaning off to the side of the ship, just hiding from the guards as much as he can using his claws. I can't float a token, though.
So you are going to actually try to grab onto the side of the ship itself.
Yep, and find a ledge somewhere that he can just lurk and skulk around with his claws, just keeping him from falling.
Make a stealth check with disadvantage. Because there are people around. It's in daylight, and if they see someone clinging off to the side,
Yep.
it
Foul ain't
is
the brightest.
quickly evident that without some kind of actual cover, and you actually come to the back of the ship, you notice that there is a ledge around the edge of the ship that they typically use to clean up barnacles and clean the windows and the like. You would be able to go around there, but you wouldn't be able to stealth with this many people around. Let me...
So I'm trying to figure this up there. Okay.
Yeah, this ledge. Very hard to see, but it's there.
I couldn't see the ledge itself there.
Yeah. It's supposed to be very nondescript, but you find it and you can get on it, but Raybar, you notice that about the same time as a couple other deckhands, noticed that there seemed to be a tabaxi climbing onto this rich person's ship.
I'm gonna walk over and be like, "You, what are you doing?"
Got lost.
Well, shoo! You can't be climbing on people's ships.
Here at that.
God.
Okay. And he's just going to wander off and try to get to the boat to be there instead.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I wanted to make it like so that nobody else caught you.
I understand. Like,
And in fact, Vlen, who is tailing you, taps your shoulder. You know, laddie, usually you don't confront people like that. Just there's a bunch of guards that do it for you. If he would have been an assassin, which I'm not convinced he wasn't, he probably would be dead on the docks right here. That being said,
Well,
I'm gonna report the deckmaster that some tabaxi was doing weird stuff, and he goes off to talk to the dockmaster. Unless
I was just gonna say, well, when I did talk to him, it seemed like he was simple. He didn't really speak much, and spoken broken, just in general broken. I think he genuinely was lost. I do think he was an
make
assassin.
a deception check.
Am I good at those? No, not yet.
14. Let me just roll a d20. You know what? Well, I'm gonna tell the deckmaster anyway, but also put out the word for those insane asylums or home for adults that they have in the city. Maybe one of them missed someone. And he goes off to talk to the deckmaster.
Yes. Oh, I love being charisma. Oh God, that was. Oh.
So with some good rolls to counteract the bad stealth roll, they are looking They're asking if anybody's lost an elderly person with dementia or something like that, but no assassin in the docks has been alerted.
Oof. Fallon's never gonna live that down.
And also,
that terrible stealth roll.
while your boat is a bit of a ways off, it's not actually this close to the ship. You could see that there is a dinghy on the side of the ship, and you get the feeling that if you were to be able to stealth across that ledge, you would be able to hide in that dinghy more stealthily than just clinging onto the side of the ship.
Could he just swim over to the ship and climb up using his claws? He does have an additional climbing bonus as a tabaxi.
Yeah, it climbs.
If you wish to attempt it, just know that people are now aware that there is somebody. It's not just a normal day necessarily.
Yep.
Might be a little
I
bit
don't think
harder
he
to
would.
stealth and climb.
I don't think he would actually attempt after the initial failures. Like, don't blow it. Like, he probably expects the worst already, given his prior failures.
Okay.
He'll choose the right moment. and
Yeah,
that's
at the
when
very least, while the ship is here, and because there's going to be another, there's ships all along the way. There's too many eyes. If there wasn't a ship beside you guys right now, on the opposite side, you might have a better chance. So we'll see what happens there. However, you guys have about 2 hours before the event officially begins.
So, just as a question about me working, am I working? So, I'm working between the two ships, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I will be on that ship sometimes. I'll be on this ship sometimes, and bouncing back and forth.
Mainly on the smaller ship. Only because this one isn't geared to set sail with a bunch of supplies. You're just going to be maybe helping them with the wine and ale caskets and
Okay.
one
That's all.
giant
I just
vase.
But other than that, that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of working.
Okay. So Warden, you are preparing the meals. This is your busiest time because mise en place is a thing.
Yep. I am mostly following directions as best I can until I hear an alert that says, "Hey, Warden, I need your help." Whatever they ended up agreeing on, probably like some kind of bird call.
Mm-hmm. And as far as
Yeah,
go ahead.
she's just gonna keep her nose down and keep herself relatively clean.
Fair enough.
Hope would try to use the fact that they're moving all the boxes around to try to get into position to where he can just quietly plant the bomb.
It's a potion.
Yeah, potion.
So you would just need to break it and run, basically.
Okay, so
throw it.
it's just getting the
or uncork it and let it
waft.
Yeah.
And just a reminder, there are 2 guardsmen with heavy crossbows on the bow.
Yep.
However, as you are doing your deckhand duties, Hope, you would be allowed just into the first room down below. This one. That's where most of the supplies would go that isn't directly necessary. So you would see down the hall there is a locked door that's a couple locked doors, but one of them that you know is the actual room where you need to get into.
Hope would take note of that, but he wouldn't try to, kick up a fuss or anything that would cause any suspicion.
Yep.
Just quietly working diligently, even if he's a little bit out of breath, since he's not used to that. From what I can tell from the stat sheet.
Sure. Okay. Hour goes by. No issues. Another half an hour goes by, and from the deckmaster, talking to all the deckhands that you guys are working through. Last call for items. Just get them on the ship. That one's leaving pretty soon. Gesturing to the Penumbra ship. So you guys are ready to do the last bits of equipment, but another half an hour passes, and it's finally time for all of the nobles to appear. So let me get
Would
there.
Foul have a second opportunity to say try to sneak into the life raft here and hide under one of the benches or something?
You're gonna try to stealth into that?
Climb up the side and either hang out underneath it, so he's never even exposing himself, or into the life raft itself.
Okay, make a stealth check.
I just want to point out that the vault is perfect fireball size.
Yes, measure everything in fireballs from now on.
That's how I do it. I don't even have the ability to cast fireball, and I'm still going to cast 20-foot radius.
Anyway, the first person to come aboard is Penumbra, of course. Miss Penumbra, who is in her typical bright, eye-hurtingly pink wizard robes. It seems a little bit more uppity than at school, as she is actually entertaining guests. She has one of those gigantic hats with the giant feather, Southern Belle hats. And under the... and it works under this glaring sun that is the 4 o'clock sun. First person to arrive, though, is a large, dark-skinned man who, under closer inspection, you see that isn't entirely human. He has some patches of scales, like somewhere in his ancestry there was a lizard folk. And the people near them would hear Penumbra talking to him. Ah, it is so good to see you, Sultan Melkesen. And those of you who have been at attendance for students, you hear that this would be Zelly's father. It's Zelly Melkesen. Yes, this is good to be here. Nice to get out of the desert for once. Next person aboard would be a mage. They talk to him, and it's at this point that as the nobles start coming aboard, you guys are subtly pulled to other parts of the ship where you can't really hear everything. But if you wish, those who are nearby and proficient in history, go ahead and make a history check. I don't think that's anybody, though, is it?
I could try for hope, but
Checking.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I am not proficient, no.
He's not proficient either, but rolled a 19.
Okay. Of the people there.
Oh wait, no, he is proficient. My bad.
Okay, yeah, of the people there, the most striking would be... well, one of them was striking. There's a bunch of royals, but Lord Modius Silverwing, father of Keenas, the tiefling. That would be this guy right here, and his son, and Keenas's older brother, Bathusdak. They are rulers of They own the majority of the alchemical farms. So where all the wizards get their ingredients, that is their business. Other people include Art, the apprentice Lydikias, but you're not sure where he is from, and a couple other more people. Until finally the star of the entire thing shows up. You realize that this is not someone who just comes out to social gatherings. As you see Grand Archmage Lydikai, Shanareki is ruled by wizards, one representing each school of magic, and this is the divination wizard who rules the entire nation of Shanarakia. And upon his arrival, everyone bows their head in respect. He looks up at the sun, kind of in annoyance, and says, "Well, Penumbra, I will be waiting in the meeting chamber for this issue, this meeting you wish to discuss." And as some people start to come up and try to shake his hand, he says, "I am not in the social mood today. I am here for business." And as he looks at everyone, it's without words telling them, "You are not worthy of my business." Even a sultan of an entire desert. And he takes his leave up to, through into the meeting room. 21 stealth. Let me roll something. Okay. I'm going to need you to make another stealth roll as one of the guardsmen who has been watching from the stern catches something going on and goes to check it out.
Foul?
Foul, yep.
14.
Okay. He stands there for a minute. Another, looking down, looking around. There's a splash of a large fish that jumps out of the water, and upon seeing that, he shrugs and goes back to his post.
Val just quietly breathes a sigh of relief and just clings all the tighter to the side.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Eventually, you will need to make a strength check to see how long you can hold on, but for now, you're good.
Yep. He will probably try to climb into the boat to rest his claws once things are underway.
Yep. And as that happens, the ship starts to untether itself from the dock. They are making the preparations for heading out to sea, just to get away from the hustle and bustle of the town to have this meeting that was mentioned. Now, the ropes are released and the sails are beginning to be lowered. The most forward ones at first, just to get them enough room to leave before they unfurl everything and get to top speed. And as they do that, they leave the docks behind. And pretty quickly the rowboat as well, unless you wish to really try something. Is there anything those of you who are not on the ship wish to try to attempt before the ship gets too far away from you guys to catch up?
Would Val have any opportunity to say, try to loop the rope that he does have through the? It's hard to get this thing to focus. Sorry, through the chain that's holding the life raft in place, at least somewhere, so it can at least have a little hand rest.
Well, once you get out to sea, if you were to climb onto the rowboat and lay down, nobody is going to be looking that far over the edge. You should be comfortably safe at that point.
Right.
Yeah. Now that there's not ships nearby looking directly at you, you should be good.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you have more, do it, because...
Nope, he was just going to see about trying to sneak a rope into place to give himself a little handhold to just be able to somewhat secure himself so he doesn't get thrown off before he gets the opportunity to climb in.
Music stopped. Dang it.
Trying to think what I could do.
The rest of you, you've got to figure this out relatively quick because the ship is a pretty fast ship. It takes a bit to get up to speed, but it's getting out of there.
I guess I'll try to dart away from what I'm doing to try to get on the rowboat. Like our rowboat.
Sorry, what are you trying?
As soon as I see the boat starting to leave.
Yeah.
As soon as I see the boat leaving, I'm going to try to get onto the rowboat that Ulfgar is on. Best I can.
Yeah. Leaving your job, going over to Ulfgar. Fair enough. You've helped the ship leave. You have enough time to get over to the ship without arousing suspicion, and you can get onto the rowboat with Ulfgar.
Okay. Then I'll do that.
And
Ulfgar will just start steady rhythm. Not necessarily trying to keep pace with it, but at least keep in sight with the ship.
Okay.
Just as a point of reference, that torch that's on it, is it actually lit in game?
No, you're good.
Okay.
It wouldn't be lit during the day.
Okay, just...
Though, you do find one pole and one source of fishing supplies that was left on the ship when you rented it. Because it was assumed that's what you wanted the ship for, fishing.
Of course.
Yeah. But even with your fastest stroke of rowboating, you wouldn't be able to catch... Come close
it's
to
more
catching up.
just keep it in sight.
Keeping in sight. With
both of us rowing?
Even then, yeah, because this is a full-on sailing ship. Make a deception check to make it seem like you're not honestly pursuing it.
Okay.
Otherwise, you may arouse suspicion.
That's a really good roll.
Okay. With your fishing supplies out, Ulfgar, you capitalize on the idea that some fishermen like to fish in the wake of other ships, because many dolphins, many fish start to swim up, kind of assuming that chum and scum from kitchens, for example, would be left over the side and ate upon. So that's what fishermen sometimes do. So your cover is solid, and you are keeping it in sight, though not super close.
Right.
I imagine Ulfgar pulls out like a modern fishing hat. It's got like all the hooks on it.
Oh please, that thing is so classic. It would probably be common in the old ages.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Just be attached instead of being careless.
So you guys are good. And as they get out to sea, more orders for food start to come in, and it's engineered so that they don't need to sit down at a table and eat necessarily. Food is brought to them, finger food on trays, with little toothpicks, the whole 9 yards. And Warden, you were kept pretty dang busy by that. Looking at the frenzied chef who is preparing all of this food, it's a wonder that this guy hasn't collapsed of old age earlier if he didn't have a helper. And you realize that he's probably younger than he looks, but this job has taken so many years of his life away.
What's a mode? Oh my god, yes. That. It's got like the clip-on fish hook as well on the bill.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I'm sorry, but I saw how to link it.
It's amazing. I love it.
Yep, the event is underway. Penumbra hasn't worried about the staff of the staff or deckhands who may not be as social as they normally would be. She's got nobles and a ruler of a nation to attend to.
Not to mention, I can't imagine her actually wanting the deckhands to be social with these nobles.
Oh no, you actually, in fact, the deckhands are relegated to the lower decks. So this kind of common area for the deckhands, this is where you guys, you along with 3 other members are there, and the 3 of them are actually. One of them is sleeping, and 2 of them are at a table playing cards. But this is the area you were relegated to. As the rest of the event continues. Yep, down there.
I'm trying to get him to fall into it.
Okay. Anything you are up to at the moment?
Hope would actually be skulking around somewhat, like just idly humming to himself, looking the party curious, because the cover story is he's just a fill-in for a guy that was sick, and he's going to make his way to the door just to peer through each of the doors. See if, like, oh, what's this? Like, just idle curiosity out of sheer boredom as they're stuck down there.
Yeah, so you are stuck down there, and all of those doors are locked.
Any latches or anything that might let him see within, or?
Unfortunately not. You wouldn't be able to see anything.
He's going to, let's see.
Yeah, and you can tell right away just by glancing that this door and this door, they are just regularly reinforced locked by physical means.
And then this other one is different?
And this one is not just full-on steel. and locked and barred. It is also magically enchanted. And as you look at it, one of the deckhands goes over. Calls from the back. Hey, remember, don't touch that lock, the doorknob.
Sorry, first day. I didn't quite get the memo. Did they tell us what happens to us if we touch that thing? I mean, besides getting tossed overboard.
Yeah, and remember, it's the deckhand you are impersonating has been here for a bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
That's why you were trusted to be on the ship during this.
He's gonna go, I forgot. What was it they were saying about it again? I just can't remember. I know we're fired if we can touch it, but...
One of them's like, what do you mean? You touched it last time? And he gets a smack from the back of the head from the other one. Don't you remember? He must have got his brain altered a bit from that shock.
Damn. Sorry about that. I'll be back.
No worries. Most of the new people have done it before, and I might have done it and forgot. Just come on here and play a card game with us.
Sounds good.
It's gonna be another couple hours before we have to unload things, so take some shut-eye as well if you can.
I'll try. Probably have to take a leak soon.
Shit, I've done that before we left.
They don't mind if we head above deck to...
yes.
Right, we shouldn't really been using the corner.
No, this is more of a hold it situation, mate.
Damn. I'll try, but no promises.
Don't you remember when she gets people like that? If we're even seen near there, and keep it down as well. They're just above us.
Will do. So, first round on you.
It's actually Glenn's turn, gesturing over to the guy who is asleep right now.
Let's wake him up then.
Let's just... And looking at cards, you see over one of the ship-end's shoulders that the hand that he has is obviously not a good hand, and he puts it down. I think we'll just turn in for the day. It's gonna be annoying to ship out all the garbage these nobles leave behind before we head back.
Especially not many on no rest, so.
Day. And with a bit of you actually look over and you see that the other ship hand also has a terrible hand in the game that they're playing. And he says, "Aye, yeah, good idea." And they both put down their cards, and before the other can look at them to possibly get some sense of ulterior motive, shuffle it over, and they take back their earnings that they put in.
DM,
Yes.
Raybar didn't get transferred over to this page. Or at least I can't find him.
Wait, put him in there. Let me...
I've been so focused on watching. There he is.
Yeah. Team Dingy.
Why? There we go. He's on the ding.
Yep. And with the events starting to die down a little bit, the lesser nobles are still milling about a bit, socializing, making business agreements, while the high nobles, the ones who are actually here for some reason, go to the meeting room.
You know, while they're getting some shut-eye, it might be worthwhile to uncork the thing. It's not upwind, but it'll work.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch the first bit.
While everyone's sleeping, it might be a good idea to uncork the potion.
Oh, I thought we were going to do it at the bow.
That was the original plan, but this would be a good place to do it as well.
Okay, because I was going to try to have Hope sneak up to the bow under excuse me, just really needs to take a leak. And leave it there to draw people there before retreating back down.
Plans are malleable.
Just remember,
Mhm.
The second you set off the stink bomb, people will be alerted to something going on.
As long
And
as
the
he's
train,
looking. As
and
long as he's looking for the source whenever they come looking.
and the train whistle wouldn't, according to this list I have.
Train whistle.
The
Oh.
signal that you're in trouble, was it?
That from what it says, if you find the journal, not so much if it's in trouble.
Well, if you find the journal, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. But for now, hope you are closest. Warden, you have finished the main course, and now it's just a couple desserts that the chef is mainly preparing, and you're just doing cherries for. So if you do wish to get away, you would be able to. And Fowl, you are near the area, and while sneaking aboard is unlikely, it's possible. And the other two, you're probably not going to be able to do anything. But of the three that are on board able to do anything, is there anything you would like to do right now?
Would it be okay to have Hope interact with Fowl in some way? Or can I not have
Hope
the two
wouldn't
characters
know
interact?
that Fowl is stuck aboard.
Okay. I was gonna have Hope try to go out, and then Fowl just already climbing aboard just indicates he's there.
Yeah, neither of you would actually be able to know, because one of you is inside the hole, the other one's outside. Yeah.
Either way, Fowl is gonna try to get at least into the boat so he doesn't.
Yes, sneaking onto the ship is fine. The dinghy.
Yeah, the dinghy.
Yeah.
And he's gonna just remain at the ready to get on board as need be.
Yeah, a couple lesser nobles can be by the railing at times, but unless they lean over that thick railing and look down at you, who is scrunched up against the side of the ship, they're not going to see you, so you're fine. For being there. However, does Raybar or Hope wish to do anything? Sorry, Warden or Hope.
I just don't understand how we're supposed to get through the door. Because none of us are able to learn to spell magic, and we don't have anything that could work except for maybe the disintegrate scroll.
You would have to actually investigate it first and roll an investigation check.
Either way, I haven't gotten the signal to come help, so I'm probably just gonna keep going as long as I can.
Once the fellow deckhands are properly asleep and he's pretty sure that they actually won't be woken by the signal for minor illusion, Hope's going to go ahead and use it.
Use it to do
That-
what?
Let's see, train whistle from the
Train whistle that you found the book?
oh no, sorry. Let's see. Okay, there's no actual thing on the list here for just calling
It's
it over
it's the
signal.
come help me one though.
Okay, the come help me one.
I'm assuming that's what you mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to mean.
Okay. Warden will just kind of say, is there a place where I can go rest? That's quite exhausting. You seem to have the rest of this in hand.
The chef, looking over you, make another survival check just to see how you actually performed in his eyes. He nods. Yes, you did quite well, and I have half a mind to hire you full time, honestly. Go down below decks where the deckhands are. Do not disturb the meeting that is going on. There should be an extra bunk that you can sleep in. I'll finish up, the small things. Thank you.
Thank you, Chef. If you really would like to extend that offer, I would be glad to accept. But I should rest while I can.
Stamina is something we chefs must get over time. But for now, take your rest. I will deal here and we will see what happens.
Warden nods and takes her leave, trying her best to keep her.
Wait.
Oh.
I forgot. And he pulls out a little pouch and gives it to you. Your cuts for your work.
Oh, thank you so much. And then she'll kind of throw the bag up and palm it and tuck it away.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get my rest while I can. If there's anything that comes up, please let me know. And she'll keep her head down and make her way over to the hold, trying her best not to raise any eyebrows.
Okay. I'm moving you, sorry. Over this area down here. Where are you going? There we go. As you go through the common room and down, you hear Miss Plenumbra address everybody. Well, thank you all for coming. And she seems to be preoccupied and doesn't notice doesn't recognize that you were a student of hers. And as you go down, you feel comfortable in the knowledge that nobody's recognized you.
And as I go down the stairs, I'm looking at all the deckhands that are here, including Hope, and everyone but Hope is asleep or trying to sleep.
Yes, they're asleep. One of them loudly so one is snoring.
Okay, Warden will just kind of throw Hope a quick salute and go over to the door that she was looking at before, that she pinged with detect magic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The door at the end of the hallway, the middle one.
Hope would move to join and go. I could not actually set off the bomb. They're expecting me to stay down here the entire time as a deckhand. So I can't set off the stink bomb at the bow.
It's probably for the best. Let me take a look at the door real quick.
Before you touch it, the deckhands say it shocks them, but given that supposedly the person I'm impersonating was shocked last week and others were too, it's not deadly, but it might knock you out if you touch it carelessly.
I will be careful. I was just going to take a look to see. I was in a rush last time I was down here. Is this the... What is the thing that is here? And I guess,
make
investigation.
both an investigation and an arcana check.
Let's see. Hope has arcana. An investigation? Can he do so too?
Yes, if he wishes. Okay. So 16. So while the magic seems to be a little too much to dispel, upon closer investigation, you find that only the handle has the shocking mechanism to it. Not the lock itself and not the surrounding area. And with an 18 investigation, with an 18, you would see that if you wanted to break in, there would be two options to go for. One, just a straight up lock picking set. If either of you have a lock picking set, thieves' tools, things like that, with enough time, you should be able to lock pick, as long as you do not touch the handle or the surrounding metal around the lock itself. Otherwise, if you wish to get in with everybody knowing eventually, the wood around the side has been there for a long time, and though it is solid oak, you would be able to, in a bit of time, cut around a hinge, and the weight of the door itself will be able to possibly wrench itself away from its moorings.
I think we'll do that, because I don't have a lock-making set, and I don't think Hope does.
Nope, Hope doesn't.
But I believe Hope said that he was going to buy a dagger.
Yeah,
At least he said in the RP. So
sure.
Yeah, he does have it on his sheet too. So
Okay. Yeah, a
he's got
good
the
knife,
dagger.
solid knife, or something like, you would be able to cut your way around the door, but you will need to make a stealth check not to awaken the and with this space, it's a one-person job, and it'll take one person 20 minutes to get through the hinge.
I'm rolling for
Okay.
it. Neither of those were stellar.
Can Hope provide assistance since he'd be trying to help?
How would you assist?
I guess just peanut gallery, really.
Well, what are you
Making noise.
assisting? How are you? Yeah, I'm gonna need something.
He's just being a peanut gallery going, no, just a little to the left, a little to the left. No, my left, not yours. Even if it's the same left. I know it's not gonna work.
Yeah, I need something to help with his stealth.
But
You might be able to
help on the sheet.
You might be able to cause some noise out in the main thing and draw their attention, perhaps.
Yeah,
But we don't want to draw any attention. Period. He could try making the sound of the ship creaking itself.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah, that would probably work. Yeah.
Like,
so with
just
the
natural creaking of the ship.
With the crack of wood as you get through this hinge, the door creaks, and the snapping of wood is overshadowed by the creaking of the ship itself. And two of the deckhands wake up, the two that aren't snoring loudly, but with a repeated sound of the ship groaning. They look around blearily and go back to sleep. And the door is open. Well, open in the not nice way. It's actually hanging on one hinge, and part of the actual locking mechanism that is holding the part of the door that was part of the wood around it still is off, and it's obviously someone broke in, but no one sees it, and you have entryway into the main treasure chamber of the ship.
Yeah, if only I were playing the character that Fowl actually met me on, she would just knock the pins out, because she's definitely...
Actually...
I mean, my own character would have already had a lockpick on hand.
Yeah.
I mean,
actually,
the very first thing I ever wrote from was he was fucking kidnapped. So, he's geared accordingly.
Mm-hmm. make a dexterity saving throw. As when you enter, you did not notice the magical circle that's on the other side that triggers this crossbow.
Fortunately, something I'm good at.
With a 18 dexterity saving throw, you do only take half damage, as instead of piercing your gut as it was aimed to do so, or the head of a halfling, it just streaks along your side and only does 6 damage to you.
Noted. I'm assuming it's still stuck in me somehow?
No, it just skinned you, and it stuck, it ricocheted off the door. But as you look back, you hear the as the heavy crossbow starts to reload, and the circle is beginning to glow again. It is a repeating trap.
Let's get moving. Hurry.
For the people who stand in that circle, specifically.
Hope's actually going to look at this, and before anything else happens, he's going to turn to Warden and go, "How's your aim?" and point at the crossbow. "I'll give you my dagger. Cut the line. You can't fire them."
Should be pretty good. Here.
With that, he's going to just lob the dagger, or rather set the dagger on the ground, slide it towards Warden, just to avoid accidentally hitting Warden with the dagger.
Okay. And the circle is only about half a foot thick, so it's easy to step over.
Is there there's a something next to it though, right? That box?
The coffin, yes. And as you look around, this hole is full of treasure. There is literally a pile of treasure in gold, silver, and jewels, a couple of magical crystals, and yes, a coffin.
I'm going to step on the coffin and cut the line.
Cut the crossbow line?
Yes.
Make a sleight of hand check. As you cut the line, it was a lot more pressure than you thought, and the whipping of the line lashes onto your arm and cuts you for 1 point of slashing damage. But it is disarmed.
Sorry about that. Hope
I've had worse. I've managed to do that even worse on my own bow, so...
And upon closer inspection, the arrow trap itself, you see the next bolt in this magazine type of mechanism is a regular one, but the next 4 seem to be dripping with some sort of poison. The bolts, yeah.
Hope seeing that, he's gonna go, "Probably should expect another thing like that. Let's try to disable them similarly rather than taking any risks."
Noted. Let's see. Do you see anything that looks like a book in here?
No, there's a chest here, but it's probably rigged.
Well, these doors up here look pretty sturdy as well. If I were hiding something, I'd probably put it in there.
It's given how precious it is and her clear paranoia, probably also magic. He's just going to approach the door and then just stop just shy and start investigating the ground for magic traps now.
Make an investigation or arcana check, either one.
I'll do investigation if you do arcana.
I'll do arcana then, but I already rolled investigation.
Whichever's higher.
They're both the same. Should I just roll anyways or no?
Warden found what you were looking for, and then you might be able to know Arcana. But looking around
Okay.
the room itself, the braziers that are between this door, there seems to be an invisible, like, magical tripwire that is there. Uh, and upon closer inspection, you get the feeling that this is some kind of alarm spell, a basic mage ability. And as far as the rest of the room is concerned, there are 3 containers: a giant shell that has been rigged to be an actual chest of sorts that will open, a regular chest that is glowing from the interior with some kind of power, and then the coffin to Warden's right. Other than that, the rest of the treasure seems to be out and open for easy access.
Yeah,
I was
this is.
gonna glance back at the chest. While it's tempting, it's looking like a very clear trap.
Yeah, there's a line here. Probably best to step over it if we can. I don't think I see anything on the doors. Maybe she didn't expect someone to get in this far.
I would say the doors need a separate check.
That's actually what I was looking for before, but okay.
Yep. Hope would
well,
just
you would.
go-
Well, with that, then you would know that it is magical, and that would need an Arcana check to determine what powerful enchantment is behind it.
I am sorry to Hope's player. I cannot roll for shit.
Welcome to the club.
Just glancing at it, seems to be the same enchantment as the other door.
Hope's gonna blink. Glance over at Warden. It seems to be the same. I suppose it's same trick. I really don't want to wager on that though. She can't be that predictable, can she?
While you guys are doing this, Foul, I need a perception check from you.
Still you.
13.
13. Okay. Sorry, not that dice. So going over to the other end of the dinghy, you do hear the murmuring of voices, and if you were to dedicate yourself to listening, you might be able to hear snippets.
He doesn't have much else to do, so he's going to do that.
Okay. What you
He's just on
hear
standby until then.
is hard to make out, and with many different accents and discussions, no one quite really raising their voices. You don't get the conversation, but there is one thing you hear, because it's familiar. Friends have talked about it. Someone mentions the Desert's Edge Orphanage. Someone else mentions the Adventurers Guild. Supply routes. Some other words you can't make out.
If I was going to quietly take note of that and just close his eyes as he considers just how does he break this to the rest of the party.
Okay.
Like, he doesn't have much to go on, but the little he does know is a good sign in itself that it's even a topic of discussion.
Yep, so unfortunately you couldn't hear the whole meeting that was going on while the rest of the people were breaking down the door and everything, but I'll send you a couple more words you might have gotten, but for now, you are listening while the others are contemplating what to do with this door. The other two, make a survival check to see if you can fish some good fish.
All right.
Excellent.
Why does it do that?
I mean, if you have advantage, you just nailed them. Biggest.
I don't, but I still rolled a 19.
You get a reasonably good haul. Definitely not something that would get a game warden on you, but enough that it's a good meal for when everybody returns. Your cover is set. If anybody wishes to investigate, they'll know that you have fish and you are fishing. But you still just see the ship in the distance. After it's gone a ways out, it has stopped. And if you were to be able to stealth row this ship, you might be able to get closer. But that would be on the edge of arousing suspicion. But you're in the area. The ship has stopped. You are fishing on the side, way off in the distance. But anything you wish to do?
Wolfgar will indicate that we should still just say stay within sight, but not necessarily approach closer unless we get a signal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. The two at the door, though. What is the process of attack?
He says it's the same, but he doesn't necessarily believe that she'd be that predictable. So I guess Warden is gonna roll Arcana to see.
Yes, it will be a harder check, though.
If I roll good, then doesn't matter.
Yep. Not quite enough. You just know that the alarm spell would be very dangerous, not just alarming, if you were to trigger it, but otherwise the enchantments on this door, and even the last one, are too complex to render the full meaning from. Best option with those checks would be knowing that there's no more doors to break through. If you had the ability to destroy this door, either by an hour's worth for these double doors, an hour's worth of grinding away at this, which time you could get caught, or some other way.
I just want to, since I'm not really doing anything, can I put a little bit of input in what's going through my mind? Because I'm
Sure, yeah.
going crazy.
Yeah, sure, please.
What if you just disintegrate the door and then toss the book in the ocean?
I mean, that would be one of our options, yes.
Yep.
Sorry, don't want to meta, but
It actually crossed my mind too. It's just
yeah,
a
I
matter
was
of
considering
what if
it.
it's actually something that's why we were given the spell. Like, if it was as simple as toss it in the ocean, wouldn't he have said that?
Well, he didn't originally know that I was on the boat. He told us to check our office first.
Yep. That said, also another option too is Hope here has created bonfire. You could possibly burn his way through the side of the side. Or burn
No, he
Plan
couldn't
F.
because part of the enchantment on the ship is the alarm spell.
Damn. In that case, nope.
So I guess Warden will say, I'll start cutting through this again.
Yeah, I will
you
say,
keep that door shut and make a bunch of noise, like the ship creaking, like you did before.
Yeah, I will say that the hole itself has been enchanted with that, detect fire, detect damage, basically. These walls inside, not so much. That's why you could saw through the other one.
Okay, fair.
That being said, there's still smoke of fire and a smell of fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ping pong.
In that case, Hope's going to leave Warden to it. Make sure the door looks like it's secure. Like, close the door behind him as best possible.
Without touching the handle.
Yeah, without touching the handle.
You make make a sleight of hand. Well, yeah, sleight of hand check.
Damn.
Nat 20.
Thank
Much
God
like
we got one.
much like Monsters Inc. repairing a door, not only are you able to bring it back up to where it was, but all of the exterior wood that was sawn away, with a bit of spit, elbow grease, you were able to make it pasted and look to be completely fine. In fact, yeah, for all intents and purposes, this door is closed, and it looks to be solid.
Hope's going to head back to the nearest unoccupied bunk, lay down in it and pretend like he's sleeping too, and start casting the occasional minor illusion to do the ship creaking again, just so that the other deckhands don't hear anything.
Okay, fair enough.
So
Uh,
he's using the bed itself, the blankets there, to hide the hand movements that he needs to use to make the minor illusion.
Okay, and there are like curtains between to give some people some privacy. But Warden, you look back and you see that the door is completely fixed, and you're for a second there you're trapped in completely. There's no way out until
I'm also assuming that he left the scroll with me before he left.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I figured that was just something that we needed to
you would've
mention.
gone, I'm gonna go cover you first before this.
Okay.
Yeah, you do see some of the glue drying on this side that the door is in fact not actually fully repaired, but it scared you for a second. Hope, going back down there, even making the noise, make a perception check.
Uh, 12.
12. Yeah, you can't. The meeting is beginning to end above, so you don't hear much of anything. But Warden, you were there at the door. What would you like to do?
I am sawing through it with the knife.
Okay. Make a
Strength, Constitution.
athletics check. Okay.
Not
So-
bad, not bad.
Yeah, it's good. It will take you just under an hour to do so. However, 30 minutes pass by. Well, sorry, 20 minutes pass by before the meeting is over, and while you're still sawing away, the ship is beginning to turn around and head back. While you're sawing, something happens above deck.
Fireball.
The Silverwing family, father and son, go over to the railing. Well, they go above.
Did you do the Titanic thing and bow the ship?
Nope. And you hear the voices of the father saying to his son, "You embarrassed me in there. How could you question me in this important meeting? I'm sorry, Father, but I don't think what you are doing is right." And you hear a slap. "Don't you talk back to me. You may question me. I will be a terrible father not to instruct you on the ways to properly do things and run a business, but do not dare question me in front of my associates." "Yes, Father." "Son, do you know why we do this?" "We do this because no one else can lead like we do. Give one of the commoners, or worse, one of the adventurers, power like we have, and this nation will crumble and fall. We make hard decisions. You know this. You've been there. I trust you. But if you give them an inch, if you lend your power to these people that you think you care about, the nation will fall. Only we who have been trained, who have been taught. Before you were taught how to write, you were taught how to govern. I gave you this power and taught you how to use it. Yes, we may hurt an orphanage in the short run, but you know that the Adventurers Guild will use their power to help them out, and in doing so, will weaken them. We will maintain our hold on our investments, which means we may help people. How many healing potions have we sent out in the last month? I taught you this. 5,644 in the past month. You must know every single detail, because we have the power to control it. And we've saved people with those potions, with those alchemical ingredients that we create in mass. The Adventurers Guild, they had years to figure our protections out, and they could not. We hurt people, yes, but we help far more. I see, Father. I will not question you again. Good. See that you don't. But you will still spend a week in our logs, memorizing every single number there, from the price of the smallest seaweed ingredient to the cost of a ship going across the ocean. You must know these things in order to be able to rule as the way some of these lesser folk cannot. Yes, Father. And they go off away out of earshot to presumably talk with the captain of the ship. While that is happening, the sawing is being done, and the ship is beginning to turn back. Those in the rowboats have a long time back to the shore, but during this next 40 minutes, still about 10 minutes till the door is sawed through, I need Warden to make a stealth check.
DM, for the purpose of our notes, who were the people that were talking? What was their names?
I will send that all afterwards, because there's a bunch of names, a bunch of details.
Fuck. Fuck.
Okay.
It's doing so well.
So this is how we reroll.
Here, I will send it for the second time tonight.
I know. There is a sound of breaking wood that cannot be masked by the creaking of the ship.
You got real muffled all of a sudden. It sounds like it's better now, but yeah, for a second there you got real muffled.
But yeah, there's a sound of cracking that is not the ship creaking, and the one who is snoring wakes up. What was that? And he looks around blearily. Hey, throws a pillow at one of the other guys. Heard something. And they stand there, sit there quietly listening.
Hope's going to make another creak. This just a little bit louder and sounding a little different from the rest.
I
Just
think
to try
something's
to-
wrong. Check the enchantment, see if a piece of the hole is broken. It's louder than it usually is. I ain't going down on this ship. Only the captain does that. And rouses the other two, and they start investigating the enchantments on the hole itself. Make another stealth check, Warden. Even though you, I have assumed, have stopped.
There we go.
The deckhand that heard the noise creeps over to the wall along the hallway and goes down it towards the locked iron door, looking at the enchantment, investigating.
Then he touches the door handle and gets himself knocked out.
No, just the opposite. He has touched the door handle and he remembers how that hurts. So he skips over that area entirely and goes back down the hallway, investigating these doors that are actually, not enchanted but locked, pulling on them, checking them, and goes back down the hallway. In fact, he takes a large ring and opens each of the doors. And through the time that he is in there checking these areas out, you see that they aren't treasure rooms per se. They are either cargo holds or armories. Because the deckhands are soldiers as well. But close the door. Must have been a bad dream or something.
Must have been the wind.
And they go back to their beds, but probably not asleep. Warden,
Make another self check.
continue cutting away.
Make another self check.
You get to the point where one of the doors would fall in. Actually, both of them would, because the weight of one would pull the other in, with a bit of encouragement, so you can actually get in. At that point, you would need to make a stealth check to see if it doesn't, clang open and, destroy everything. But you get to that point. Roll the stealth check when you feel comfortable. At this point, the ship is within sight of the docks.
Fuck.
As luckily enough, the door opens inward. And as it does so, it crushes the side of the pillar. So this gets destroyed. I say likely enough because the alarm spell didn't trigger because the pillar was destroyed in the falling of this door inward. It is loud, it is clear, and the deckhands jump up and start running over to the door. They, as they do so, they stop just clear of it, knowing the enchantment is there. And they look at each other. What do we do? There was a noise in there. Someone must be in there. I don't know. Penumbra's still with the wizard. I can't get in. I'm not touching that door. No, me neither.
Hope joins them, and he just has to look. No, not me. I don't even remember what happened last time. I don't want to find out again.
As you enter,
Not all the way. She learned her lesson last time. She's checking for traps.
As you enter, check for traps. Sure.
Thank God.
17. You notice on the floor some pressure plates that are obviously a ruse. And there is light, like a pillar, above the pressure plate. Something's off about that. And it's going to be very hard to get through this without entering the light.
Is it? You said the pressure plate is obviously a ruse.
Yes, you notice that there's nothing really connected to it. It might have some trigger to it, but there is a magical enchantment on the ceiling above that is illuminating these pressure plates. And down the hall, you see that there is also a crossbow ready to shoot as well.
Down the hall where? Okay, I see it now.
Yep.
Can I mean, stealth is already out the window here, so can I grab... Is there, like, anything that I can throw, like, hefty in the pile of treasure that I can throw at the light and break it?
I mean, yeah, there's shield or two as well.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw something at the light and see if that breaks it.
Like, throw as in how far away?
Where's the light at? You said it's directly above the pressure plate?
It's basically these two tiles here and that area.
So I can see the source of the light, right?
It's the ceiling above, yeah. Pointing down.
Okay, but I don't see the source of it, like a lamp or something, like an enchanted lamp.
No, it's there's some magical circle that is obscured by the light that it's creating that's pointing down, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, magical circle carved into the ceiling.
I think I just gotta risk it.
Yep, you hear murmuring
Risk
from
it
the
for
other
the biscuit.
door. Look, we got it. Let's just tell the captain. Yeah, he'll know what to do.
I'll go through the light, I guess. Just trying to roll over it so that it wouldn't necessarily hit any vital parts with the crossbow if that ends up going off.
Okay, like going down so that it would shoot above you, maybe?
Kind of like doing, yeah, kind of like that.
Okay. It might hit you, but make a dexterity...
like a dolphin dive, perhaps.
Okay, make a dexterity saving throw as you leap over and somewhat hit the pressure plate, but more importantly, break the light. As you are suddenly thrown up into the air by the pillar of fire that suddenly erupts from the pressure plates and the lights. And you take... With 13, you fail. You take... Sorry. One more d6. I missed a d6. 12 points of fire damage and are launched and hit the ceiling, hit the floor because of gravity, and a loud explosion rocks the ship.
I have 1 HP.
As the
Ooh.
arrow fires, make another dexterity saving throw.
You are actually going to kill me.
Yeah, I don't think that even if he like compared to the last one, even if he saves, it's still half damage, so he's down.
Well, I still need to roll for it.
I am unconscious.
Unfortunately, your 13 beats its 12, and, well, fortunately for you, sorry. And it whizzes over your head, just missing you, sinking into the back.
The 13 was for the fire. Unless you're giving me advantage on that second one.
Yeah, it is advantage because you are currently pinwheeling in the air, flying super crazily. If you had just been walking, yeah, that would have hit.
Okay.
Do we hear said explosion on
Oh
the
yeah.
boat?
In fact, the dinghy, you actually not just hear it, but you see the front of the ship jump up slightly.
Oh.
And
gonna look-
everybody knows.
gonna-
As the deckhands
I'm gonna look over to Ulfgar. I'm gonna look over to Ulfgar as soon as that happens. I'm just like, well, looks like they went with Plan F.
Yes, Rebar. It seems that those kind people on the ship will need our help. Let's see if we can do any humanitarian work there.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah, at
bring
this
some
point,
peace.
the deckhands and Hope have gotten to the main deck, on their way to tell the captain. But yeah, everybody's on alert, and it's going to take them a minute to get down below decks or something, or to organize and see what's going on. In that minute, you have 3 rounds to see what you can do.
Okay, I'm going to open this first chest.
You see that it is locked and enchanted. And the one across from you is as well. But the one straight ahead just seems to be enchanted and not locked.
I don't have anything for this. I'll move to the one that is just enchanted and not locked.
Okay.
And I guess make an Arcana check to see if I can determine if it's just like an alarm or if it's something more dangerous.
Yeah, Arcana check. That'll be run 1 round.
I'd like to point out that we put both of the healers on the boat together, doing nothing.
Oh, can't actually move to help.
Yeah, not sure. Hoping it's not damaging and just alerting, but you can open it.
Is it possible for Hope to slip away from the deckhands without being noticed, or no?
Slip away from the deckhands in the confusion? That's possible, yeah.
Yeah, in that case, he's going to actually try to rush back to help Orton.
Okay. You will have to try to destroy the door again, which is easy, but it will cover up your ruse that you put up, which is very convincing.
Hope's going to actually get to there and then hesitate. He's not quite sure which is better.
Okay. So it would take you 2 rounds to get down there, so this is Warden's second round.
I'm gonna open the chest and hope it doesn't kill me.
Okay, upon opening, the alarm spell does trigger, and a secondary trigger also happens as the chest in front of you opens. Congratulations. And you see a large tome in there, a black tome that is currently closed and inscribed with something hard to make out in this rush. But the one next to you opens as well, and a skeleton rises.
I'm unconscious no matter what, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna use the I'm
It
going to
takes
use the
its turn to
disintegrate
get
spell in the
out.
book.
Oh, you're gonna disintegrate it just right there?
I mean, we've gotten exposed. It's too late now. We can't read what's in it, so disintegrate the book.
Okay. Make a perception check as you do. Okay. This is the right book. I will say that. It is black, and it has some kind of dragon on it.
But in the moment, I don't know.
Yeah, you see the dragon. You know from the principal's description, this is the right book.
Okay.
What languages do you know?
I actually do know Draconic.
You know Draconic.
Yeah, because I spent a lot of time with the lizard folk.
In that case, even though this Draconic is much different than the lizard folk Draconic, it is still the same language, and you get a glimpse of the title before you destroy it. Let's see, where did I put that? And it is the World Dragon, the Book of the World Dragon. The Tome of the World Dragon, sorry. But you destroy it?
Yes.
With a cast of disintegration, it is no more. And as the skeleton comes behind you, it is going to swing it.
I would get my movement, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to move as far as I can, so 5 foot spaces, right?
Yep.
Yeah, each button press I believe is 5 feet, right?
Mm-hmm. Attack of opportunity.
Please miss, please miss, please miss.
Oh, weird. Why does it not have anything?
Fuck!
Oh,
I know.
I believe that is the first actual attack roll outside of the tutorial.
Yep.
And it hits you for 3 piercing damage from its sphere.
Doesn't matter.
And
I'm
you
down.
drop right here.
Just out of curious, does she make like a yelp or?
I don't think we can hear it.
Well, we can't, but Hope probably could,
Hope,
maybe.
Yeah, Hope's right there, and he was
Make a
actually...
perception check.
You motherfucker!
Perception check?
Yep. Still a solid door. You cannot hear through it. But you know she's in there.
At this point, there is no point to subtlety. Hope's going to try to actually open the door.
Without touching it.
Before you open the door, storming down the hallway with guards on his heel, the captain appears, and rage is in his eyes as he looks up. Step. I wish you could phase through walls. As he looks at you, Hope, and gets instantly suspicious.
I wanted to see if I could find anything, sir.
Make a perception check.
Right.
He has a sword out. It's ready to destroy anything. Okay. Insight. It's +3. You! Get out of the way!
Sir! And he would just move out of the way.
And he pulls out a golden key going up to the door, and as he puts it in to change it, he feels the door slightly give way. And in anger, he Spartan kicks it open, and it crashes to the ground. Upon entering, he looks around at the gold, at the crypt, and the two guards split off to either side. And he looks at the doorway that has again been caved in, goes over at the skeleton that is standing above the unconscious body of Warden. Make a death saving throw, Warden, first of the game.
Yep.
Trying to remember where that is on.
It's just a
Below
D20
health.
if you roll above 10.
Yep.
10, or is it 10 and above, or
10 and above
Above.
is a success.
I
Ooh,
am
I think you're up
back
with 1
up.
hit point?
I believe it's automatic stabilization.
Yes, it
Is it
is.
stabilization or is it full up?
No, it's up with 1 hit point. I looked it up.
Yeah,
very
you were up at
recently.
1 hit point. And upon you waking up, the captain, using the back of his blade, hits you across the head to knock you out.
Doesn't matter if I did.
Actually, yeah, knowing his rage, he would do that instead of taking the time to question you. And with a sneer, he says, "No one leaves this ship. Well, not of the crew, anyways." And he goes and he gestures to one of the guards. "Tell Penumbra we have a stowaway and a thief." And the guard who does so goes back. Hope, I assume, goes back to the other crewmates.
Since there's no clear way to actually rescue Warden at this time, he doesn't have much of a choice.
Okay.
Warden said that she would abandon him. Yeah, it's very only fair that he would abandon her.
Yep.
We'll see.
At this point, though, with the crack of also just because at the sound of an explosion, I'm pretty sure Fowl would actually lose his grip and fall into the water.
Well, good thing you guys are actually near the docks at this point, and it is within swimming range.
Yep. In that case, after Fowl falls, he's actually going to swim away.
To the rowboat or to the docks?
Whichever is closer, honestly.
Okay.
Probably, I think the rowboat, weren't we moving in a little
Yeah,
bit?
we were trying to see if they need any help saving people.
Yeah.
In which
Yes, we
case,
heard
he
an
would row by, see how they're rowing towards the boat.
You guys still would be following the ship.
Oh,
It would
so-
still be a bit of a ways away.
So they'd be further away from the docks. In which case, Fowl would actually not go to them. He'd go straight to the docks.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, because the ship is now
Okay.
in
he's
the
just trying to get
process
to
of
shore.
docking, and the rowboat still isn't caught up since the ship is still fast. But on the ship, Warden is dragged up above, with a angry captain in tow. Well, with a skeleton in tow and an angry captain ready to rend flesh, if he's allowed to. Skeleton, go for it. The meeting has adjourned, so most of the other delegates are currently out, ready to get back to shore for their businesses. But inside the actual meeting section itself is Plenumbra, a apprentice, judging by its robes and everything, and a vampire, who is currently in quiet discussion with Plenumbra, who looks up as Warden is brought in. Miss Madame Penumbra, this is the thief who got into the vault, destroyed it in the process. Shall I throw overboard? Penumbra looks over at the vampire, who looks down. As your legal counsel, I will say that it would not necessarily be wise to take justice upon your own hands. Too much blood is in the air. Forgive my mention. But if you would turn over her to the guards when we get into town, that should result in the questions you need answered, and everything should be fine. So no, I do not suggest you kill her right now. What if we all testified that she was killed in the attempt? I'm sorry, but I'm required by law to tell the truth. And she is obviously still breathing. Huh. Well, she'll get expelled. I recognize this thief. Chef will get fired, of course. Maybe I can bring charges upon him as well. That may be in course. I would be able to get him attached as an accomplice, but for now I suggest you get your delegates out of here, and let's just deal with this as if it's just another bad thing. Very well. Captain, alert the guard. We wish to bring in a prisoner. She will stand trial, and if any other stowaways are aboard, let me investigate, if you would be so kind, Captain. But my ship, my rules. Thank you. Very well. And goes over, taps on the skeleton goes back to its crypt. And the captain goes away to alert the guards who are now present at the docks. So let me get there we go. However, though the delegates are being escorted out, the crew itself, and especially the chef, is being pulled into that meeting room by the rest of the guards, the crew of the ship. Including you, Hope, unless you wish to make a break for it.
Would he actually have an opportunity to jump overboard and swim off?
He was below decks at this point, so you would have to go through the meeting room actually to get out.
Yeah, so you can't do that then.
Probably not.
So he'll have to just bullshit his way out.
Okay, come up above with the rest of the crew hands, and the apprentice makes his way out as well, but taking a good mental image of you, Warden. Surrounded by guards and shackles being put upon both Warden and the below. There we go. Warden and the chef. The vampire looks over all the crew, and with a wave of his hand, all enchantments and illusions that would disguise you are wiped away. And
And
there
Hope didn't even
stands.
really need to use the disguise self, did he? Because of the 20 earlier.
Any illusions that would disguise you.
Okay, so
yeah.
classic disguise, he's fine.
It's just a blanket dispel magic sort of thing. So Hope stands before this vampire. And Hope notices the eyes of the vampire widens. And he takes a sharp intake of breath. Miss Plenora, I wish to talk with this tiefling for a moment, if you would be so kind. Humph. Do as you wish. Just make sure he receives full punishment under the law. I do not wish to see him in class ever again. Very well. And he gestures you to go over kind of behind the bar.
Hope would follow him. Not like he has much of a choice there.
And the vampire leans in close. Tell me everything. Look into my eyes. Does Hope look?
Yes and no. He would look up, but not directly into the eyes. Just right below, so it looks like he's looking into the eyes, but he isn't.
Grabs the chin and forces their faces closer together. Look.
I mean, in that case, he has to look.
Yeah. And make a wisdom saving throw. Oh.
Oh no.
You
Oh,
are.
stop.
What was that?
Sorry, never mind.
You are enthralled. You must be honest with this vampire. Who is your friend? Why would you lie to a friend?
Yep.
You're my friend. But
Is this?
I haven't said anything to you.
Is this your accomplice?
Haven't lied to you.
Gesturing over at Warden.
Accomplice?
Your partner.
No. Not a partner.
And just to be clear, it's not a wordplay. It's more of he is honestly your friend. Being
it's a
enthralled, you obviously gotta not just tell the truth.
I'm trying to sorry, I'm doing a bad job of we're working together, but she said she'd leave me behind, so we're not exactly good friends.
Okay, so telling them that, yeah, that's what you would tell him.
That's what he's trying to say. Like, she's not my friend. No. She told me she'd turn on me for a few copper coins once. Not my friend.
But you know her.
A classmate.
Did you...
Attitude.
What were you trying to steal? Did you steal anything?
No. I have not even touched anything other than the boxes I needed to bring in.
Did she?
I don't know. That when they found her, when we all saw her, she was on the ground. I'm surprised that skeleton didn't kill her. Frankly, when I saw it with a weapon, I thought it would already run her through.
And the chef. Is he your accomplice, partner, friend?
I think he was teaching or something. I don't think it was doing any good given how bad she was at cooking.
Teaching her how to steal. Was he in on it?
No, he wasn't. He never knew anything about it.
Yeah, he's like, no. He honestly, I think he's just as lost as you and me as to what was happening down there.
How much gold do you have?
He's gonna pull out his pocket, his coin pouch, open it. 160, sir.
Good. And what were you trying to steal?
I wasn't trying to steal anything, sir.
What were you trying to do?
Because I was earlier helping with getting the boxes and all the food in.
The purpose of this adventure, of getting aboard, of hiding.
That. We hate books. He's just gonna grin like it's the silliest, goofiest joke.
Explain yourself.
Principal. He kinda wanted us to burn a book. Tried hiring every single one of us, but as I already told you, friend, we don't see eye to eye.
He
She
rubs
wanna
his
do it her
chin.
way. Hmm?
He rubs
Sorry.
his chin and... Why did the principal hire you to destroy this book?
Honestly, beats me. He was being real sketchy about it. He was saying something
We weren't hired.
We weren't
by the way.
hired. We were
Yeah,
let
weren't hired.
know.
We were strongly
Tasked.
encouraged, not
Tasked.
yeah. We were strongly encouraged, not hired. We never got paid a single thing.
To do what? To destroy this book? Why?
Being honest with you, first day we were here, Penumbra picked us out in class and tried to rag on us. We were told that was either pretty much do this or be expelled either way. And I liked it at the school. I just didn't want to be expelled. Rock and hard place, man. You know how it is.
What was in this book? What was...
No idea. All I know was some sort of blackmail material that was used to make it easier for her to expel any students she wanted.
Blackmail, you say?
From what he was saying, he never indicated exactly what beyond don't touch, don't read, don't anything.
Don't lie to me. And he takes the back of his head and looks deep, and so deep that you actually hear the voice in your head. And it's a whisper, deep in the back, where no one else can hear but you. Is it true?
Yes, I have not lied to you at one time, friend.
You feel a migraine come in as another consciousness starts to enter your mind, and look around a little bit. And then with a grin, you hear the voice again. What would you give me if I helped you?
Help with what?
Helped you out of this situation. You and your friend. You can hear the air quotes around the voice.
Friend, I would happily give you the money I have, but...
Not money.
I don't have much else. I only recently got to the school and I don't barely have the clothes on my back.
Oh, come now.
what can
You
I
know
offer you?
what I am.
I do, but how can I help?
You see, your kind's blood, specifically your ancestry, is particularly delicious.
I am so sorry for being inconsiderate, friend. I am terribly, terribly sorry. I wouldn't mind at all. After all, what's a bite between friends?
Very true, but once you are no longer my friend, I will need this agreement in writing. Do you think
Sure.
you would be able to?
I'll happily sign on the dotted line.
Very well.
As long as we do stay on our respective agreements. I trust that won't be a problem, friend. Not a problem at all.
Just know that this may be a longer agreement than you may want. I will leave you alive, but it is still an agreement that you will probably regret. Would you still be interested?
Well, the way I see it, I make a deal with you, friend, or I make a deal with a person that wants me gone and good and has already suggested killing us. I
Very
choose
well.
you.
Good choice. As the voice recedes from your head, the vampire stands up. Miss Penumbra, there is a complication. As the guards come in from the docks and start to hole up the unconscious warden. With this jostling, you'll begin to regain consciousness a little bit.
Don't do it again, sir.
The situation
What?
is breaking and entering is not so severe of a crime as the following theft.
I didn't touch nothing.
Search them. I did. Search their minds. I did. I have not stolen a single coin that belongs to you. What? Are you... And with a sudden realization, she looks at all of you, and there is fire behind her eyes.
I'll do it again, too.
Guards! I wish to press full charge. Miss Penumbra. A full investigation into the destruction would have to ensue, and questioning of the subjects as well. Any business items you wish to keep secret would have to be revealed in open court. We who deal in valuable trade secrets, business partners that have rates that we do not wish everyone knowing, would cripple our industry. I suggest we do not press full charges. You may take your punishment out due to them being students, but looks at the guards. We do not wish to press legal charges. And with a realization of what could happen if they went in to investigate all of her doings, she sits. Oh, right. If no charges are presented, gestures at the guard. We will take note if you wish to do so further, but we should go back to our post then. And the guards leave.
Gordon will stand up and dust herself off.
How woozy is Hope still from the migraine and bite? Or not bite?
It's
but
more
the-
pain than dizziness, but...
Okay, I'm assuming the charm remains for like 24 hours.
No, he's broken it, but he has slipped you a card.
Hope would eye the card and quietly pocket it.
It is a business card that says location where he does his business. Find me later. And you two are free to, bloodied and pained, are free to leave. Mission accomplished.
It's several question marks at the end.
You have been identified. She knows you. And
Everyone's
upon
several question marks.
reaching the docks, the rowboat eventually gets there. But there is one
Of course.
being who is there. A elderly wizard. The principal himself who has come. And looks out and sees Penumbra through the window. And starts to make his way onto the ship, passing you guys.
Hope's just going to actually wait just to watch what happens because he's kind of curious as to how this plays out. And God knows where Fowl is by now, since he's probably swimming as far as he can before getting ashore.
Well,
Fowl just wants an alibi of, oh no, I was in the woods for a thing.
sure. He looks upon Hope. Well, and Warden, you did well. Nobody has gotten too hurt, I trust.
That's debatable. My head's ringing. She blew me up.
In that case, sit tight. Just don't board. And with a voice booming, magically enhanced, Penumbra, come out and face me. And with a grunt, she emerges from her meeting house. Well, it seems the principal has come to talk with the little lowly me. Yes, I wish to relieve you of your charge as disciplinary head. You will no longer be making those ridiculous rules and consequences. Very well. I will still teach the way I teach and rule my classroom as a tenured professor. For now. But mark my words, you will rue the day that you decide to step on my beard. And with a twirl of air, he disappears, teleporting away. And her gaze falls upon the two who are exiting her ship. See you in class tomorrow. With a razor's intent that would cut you and bleed you dry if there was power, if there was a action behind the power.
I know.
Hope just gives a half-hearted wave of whatever as he's heading off, just his head ringing still.
Gordon will start limping home, I'm assuming leaning on Hope.
Yep.
Expecting the others to catch up.
Ulfgar, we should moor. I don't think there's any use for us on this boat anymore.
I saw the principal, so I suppose the job was done.
I guess, I have no idea.
Here's the wave I failed describing. Just lazy, half-hearted, too tired to give a fuck.
Fair enough.
I like it.
Are you guys reconvening at the inn or where?
It's still Sunday, right?
It is end of Sunday. The sun is going down. You would be required to go back to the college, actually. Yeah.
I need to be dragged wherever I go, so it's wherever Hope sits.
I'll group back up and carry Warden back.
Okay. Princess carry, fireman carry.
Backpack carry.
Okay.
My hero.
Ain't fucking princess carrying you.
That was in character.
I'll go ahead and cure wounds on Warden.
Yeah. 10 points of healing from me as well.
Oh, okay. I probably will take you full.
Actually, 10 points of healing for me plus 2 points of healing, so 12 total.
That puts me up at where I was before I got the first strap.
So, yeah, I've got I do have a lot of just free healing in my kit. You know, lay on hands, ASMR healing.
Well, you should be back to full, so now we know that you're getting carried because you
Not-
want to be carried.
Not full. I'm at 13 out of 20, but yeah.
I feel like she'd still be like, only 13?
Only 13.
You
I
got
heard
12
the
points
phrase.
from me, and you got 8 from Wolfgar.
Oh, I didn't hear the 8. Okay, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
full.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you're just being carried to get carried now.
Yeah, she's tired. She wants to go to bed.
That's fair.
It's been a
Reaper will still
long
carry.
day.
And you guys head back to the academy. The sun setting in the east. Yes, it sets in the east. And the grounds of the school are quiet with people returning home, already sleeping. And you head to your dormitory to talk over what happened.
As soon as I get back, I'm putting my armor back on. As soon as I get back.
You just drop Warden on the floor, and she's just like, ow!
No, I drop her in her bed, kind of haphazardly, and don't forget to smell your peppers tomorrow. And he just walks into his room, puts on his armor. I missed you. But
Val's just going to curl up in a ball on his bed and fall asleep. He just doesn't anything. He just wanders in a soggy, wet cat, smelling a cat.
we smell him. It's just like, oh god.
And he just beelines to the bed, doesn't even bother making it, just curls up on it, and seems rather put off by how large it is before just falling asleep, still curled in a ball anyways. Some habits die hard.
And at that, you all fall asleep with your aches and pains.
Before I sleep, I take my armor off, of course. I don't want exhaustion, but I just want to put it back on.
Okay. You sleep with it next to you, like a blanket.
Yeah, I'm cuddling it.
Like a body pillow.
Sure.
Yep.
The night comes, and the next day will dawn on another session as we end tonight's session there.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
Thank you all for
Austin
playing.
is in for a surprise next time as he finds out what bargains were made.